Well, why don't we go ahead and kind of get started on this and at least make sure we have a good recording of a full walkthrough. If there are people that join along the way, we can be happy to go back and answer any other questions that we need to recover. So just a quick look at the agenda. We're just going to do a kind of a top to bottom, left to right kind of overview of the website, all things membership system. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to unmute and or type in a question and jump on in at any time. Okay. So we're going to look at an overview. We're going to show you how to create user account. You guys obviously have done that because I know a lot of you guys have logged in already, but this will be a good way for you to kind of see it from another angle and be able to help teach other members. We'll look at how to update your profile and directory listing. And this is not only your internal directory, but also there's an external directory that you can have so that the general public can look you up and see, where you're at, where you are in the map, things that you offer as well. Okay, we'll show you how to set up your payment profile so that you can pay your dues or other events with a credit card and paying other things like that. We'll also show you how to manage yourself as a member within the system. So things like, what emails am I getting? What emails should I be getting? How do I register for events, food safety, and then access to some of those resources that we had you guys had on the old system, right? So documents and safe ride materials and all the building blocks for leagues and all that kind of good stuff. Then we'll also talk about other things that are just part and parcel of the Tavern League, like, how do we deal with Tavern of the Game submissions? Do we need our account number? Do we still need the member ID? We'll want to talk about missing email addresses in the system. We'll talk about that. And now what we won't do here is we've already done a league leaders how to run membership lists. So we won't do that again here, but I'll be happy to answer any other questions if you have any questions on those, but we won't actually plan on doing a demo of that. So that is a quick overview. And so why don't we get started here? I'm going to pull this over here so I can make sure I am on track. Okay, so the first thing here, if someone says, hey, I can't log in. So, first thing we're gonna do is actually pull this up again. There we go. Is well, let's do a website overview. Actually, I'll start that as I said here. So let's do that, and then we'll do a create an account. So it's a lot of our same information we've had before, but just maybe reorganize a little better. Let's talk about where to find leadership and the league leader information. So under leadership, this is a place to point people to our board and district directors and which zones or districts they might oversee. So that information is under here. And then under committees, we'll see who is a part of what committee here. And then these will be changing here. I know we're going to go through some overhaul on those. There's a league leader directory, and this map will probably seem a bit familiar. We use the same map. What is different is we can't actually click on the actual county or league here and have it linked to the particular members or league leaders. That was a little bit of a challenge for this new system. So we are displaying this, but then if you look over here, you'll see the list of counties here. So let's look up Florence County, click on that. And that takes me to a list of league leaders here. Now, just want to note that these league leaders is kind of a dynamic list, right? So if you see somebody here that is not a league leader anymore, they've passed on their torch of their office to someone else. We don't know about it yet, so just let us know and we will make a change in the database and they will automatically show up here. So that's pretty cool. So this will be kind of an ebb and flow sort of set of pages with these league leaders. Okay. And of course, obviously I can link here and I can email them if I want to call them. And we can, right now, we just have the number and then email here listed. I believe we can, change what is shown here, like different fields, because this is, linked obviously right to their member record as well. So if you guys say, hey, I want to display more information or less information than is here, then let us know. Let's go back one step. And if we go down here, this also has a link back to that leadership page, the board list effectively. So that will, people get lost and they come here first. This is the zone map, so people can kind of get a sense there. Again, these are not clickable, but you can kind of get a sense of what zone am I in. And then of course, once you're in the system, then you can, obviously run reports on different leagues and zones and districts and that sort of thing. So this is the public facing side though. Okay. Safe Ride. We've already done some videos about those. And then obviously some of this government affairs, the information is the same. Let's look at the education. So the food safety classes are all registerable from here. It's on the same website. We used to have a different website where you would purchase signs and you would purchase access to or register for food courses. It's all in one place here. So you can access the calendar from here, and that's actually also available here from this events and fundraisers link over here as well. So that's going to load. And the cool thing about this calendar or these food safety things is that we can set parameters around like saying, okay, only let 35 people register for this so that we don't go overboard on that. Before we had people, mailings come in, people would call in, and then it would be hard to tell like how many people were registered for this at any given time because we had so many sources of information coming in. So this system takes care of all of that. It will send confirmations to the registrants, to the students. It will send them reminders of that. Obviously, all the information in here is accurate as far as the address, so they can Google map themselves to the place. And any other question. Oh, and then of course there it is, registered guests. You can see that this has 27 out of 35 registered. So that's kind of some live information. So that's pretty cool. So if they click register, they go right into here and they can get started. If you are in the system, like you want to register, some of your people, some of your staff, you can do that. And then this will find you in the system and then give you the member or the register, the discount, the member discount, that sort of thing. So then of course you can choose exam or classroom exam only, and then just fill this out. And of course, if you already have an account, you can log in here as well to take care of that, knowing that you're a member. So if there's any questions on that, just go ahead and pipe up. Carrie and Markway, if you have any other things to add, let me know, just chime in as well. Under events and fundraisers, you'll click the calendar event. Oh, we already did that. Here's where you can actually you can filter there. So if we wanted to look at just Tavern League events, then I can see like, oh, here's the tour for today, and League Leaders is coming up. The state golf outing is coming up. And then later on, what I'll do is I'll actually show you how you can submit an event that is league based, have it show up on this calendar, and then Tavern Local League, right? And I'll show you that happens from when you're signed in. So there's the Jefferson County golf outing and a District 1 and 9 outing and a 7th District caucus. So any league can submit their their event here, and we can display that. It doesn't show up automatically. It will go in a queue for approval, and then we'll approve it and get it shown immediately after that. Okay, so then we get over here to member resources, and we go to member hub. So this is where we can log in or create an account. So when we went from the old system to the new system, we imported and uploaded all the emails and information we had at that time, which means, you know, most of it was accurate, but if there wasn't maybe a wrong address or an old email, you know, some of that just came over because we weren't aware that it was old or outdated or anything like that. So what that means is, if you have a member that is trying to go down here and create an account, and they're like, hey, why don't you have my email? Why can't I log in? Well, if they used to have a Yahoo address and they've abandoned that 2 years ago, but that's what we put in here, that's what that's what we're expecting them to sign up for. So, but now they have a Gmail address. They're going to run into a little bit of a roadblock by trying to do this automatically and on their own. So all they have to do is just call. So just call or email anybody on staff. We'll be happy to help them. We'll look them up. They will be in the system, but just, again, probably with an old email. In fact, I know that Sharon Ward, you had your email, it was wrong in the system. It said sward@gmial, right? The Gmail was typed wrong or had a typo in it. Well, you wouldn't have been able to pull it up because it doesn't see you as an email in the system. So stuff like that can go wrong. Sometimes people type their emails wrong, like .ocm. That happens. So we can fix that on the back end. So the first thing you want to do is, if you don't have an account, you haven't logged in, even if you're an existing member for 20 years, you still have to create an account on this new system. So you would type in your first name, your last name, and again, the email that we're expecting to see from you, and you click submit. What will happen is, like a lot of websites, you have to go through an email verification. So you click submit, and it's going to say, thanks, now go check your email. You go check your email, and you're going to get a link, a verification link. And when you go to your email and you click that verification link, then this website says, yep, this person exists. This person is in charge of this account. They're okay to let into the system. Okay, so it's pretty simple. So, but you have to kind of go through that. Now, if you have problems with that, if the email doesn't come, it may be going to your spam. So you might want to check there. If you have looked everywhere, give us a call and we'll fix you up. We might have to turn some stuff on from the back end, like verifying you in the back end. We'll make sure that the email is good, and then kind of effectively click that verify button for you. So happy to help with any kind of problems like that. For the most part, they should be getting this email automatically. So then once they have clicked that link, then they would come back here. So again, you would come back to the member hub. So again, how to get there, it should bring you back here when you get to that verify step. But just a reminder is, you're going to come to member resources and come to member hub. And now we're going to log in. So the username, for the most part, is going to be your email or the email address, right? So I've got a kind of a fictional tavern here that I've created an account so I could demonstrate. So username and password, we've already done that. I'm going to click sign in. So now we're logging into the website. And so you're going to be met with something that looks like this. You'll see upcoming events. You're going to see just kind of a little bit of a dashboard, a welcome here, and things that you might want to know, like how to submit league news, or if you've got something going on that you want us to know about. You can jump right to any kind of billing info or events or membership directory from here. And you might see this change occasionally, because we're going to maybe feature something that we want you to see right away, especially if it's time sensitive or an event or something like that. So once you're kind of in here, I just encourage people to explore and click, right? You're not going to break anything. So go for it, right? So what I usually do when I learn a new website is, again, like I said earlier, is top to bottom, left to right, click everything. So let's go info. If we go info here, you see these little pencils here. And so you can click in there. And so you can type in your physical and mailing address. And if those are different, then you can modify those here. So I say for whatever reason, I've got a duplicate here. So I'm going to say, oh, physical and mailing, I want this to be different. And I want this to be, oops. There we go. So I could type in a different mailing address, and then I could say what type of address it is, right? So this is my mailing, and then I could fill all that out and then click done. And so these could be just two different. I'm not going to take the time to fill all those up, but you could see you could have a different one. And again, that's going to show up differently on membership reports, right? So we have all that information can be pulled separately. So mailing address, obviously, could be an address with a mailbox or a PO box, and then the physical address, of course, is going to be the physical address of the bar typically. You can also add other information in here, like your professional bio, or this is actually maybe more information about your bar, probably, right? You can also add in information in here. It'll show you what leagues you belong to. And then up here on the lists and committees, this particular record is probably not a great example because this is just a fake bar. It's Tony's Tavern. But what you'll see over here is all the lists and committees to which you belong, right? So Sharon, you're going to see you are a member of the board. You're a member of Milwaukee County Tavern League. You're a member of zone or district, whatever. I don't remember those offhand. And so you're going to see that. And then, if you're a member of the golf committee, you're a member of the legislative committee, all those lists are going to show up here. So if you see something that you're not a part of, or the other way around, if you're like, hey, I'm a member of this committee and it's not showing up here, again, let us know, give us a call. We'll be happy to help you out. I don't think you can, I can check these because I'm a admin, but I don't think you can self-select on these. So you'll have to let us know if there's anything that's missing or that you're not a part of anymore. So, and then let's click over here. We click membership. You can see like, oh, I have an active membership, and we'll get to that, this pay here in a second, but you might also see that there is an active invoice if your membership is due within 90 days or less. So you might see that as well. And then we can show you how to manage that. Here's the billing. You can see I don't have any outstanding invoices, but you might see that, oh, I registered for the convention. I registered for legislative day or any other upcoming event. And you might have a balance due if you registered and haven't paid yet. Okay. Down here under the open invoices. Let's go back. And then again, you can kind of move over to the right. So it says related businesses here. So Carrie, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the related businesses, I believe this is where if you own more than one tavern, you'll probably see that here. Is that correct?
I'm going to defer to Markway on that.
You
So-
see that here?
Yeah, that's typically what that means. So you'll probably see like your, child business there. And then there's also a button that would be there. So if you own multiple establishments, where you see logged in as Tony Verova and Tony's Tavern, there'll be a gray button there that says change organization. And when you click it, you'll be able to switch which one you're, trying to get information updated for or pay dues for, or whatever the case may be. But yes, under that related businesses tab, you would see, all of your establishments, all the places that you own.
Fantastic. Awesome. Thank you. Under related contacts, you would see if you're a husband and wife duo or you have a partner, You could even have maybe some of your manager or employees listed here potentially. Not everybody does, but maybe you have someone who is your general manager of all your businesses. They might be here, and then obviously be able to pay invoices and access other things that you want them to access. And you can add them if you want to do that here. Okay, so let's go down to billing again. If anybody has any questions, I'm going too fast, going too slow, chime in and go ahead and put something in the chat or unmute. In the billing info, so just to kind of clarify, all the people who had like ACH automatic withdrawals in the old system, we weren't able to copy that over here and just kind of make that a seamless process for everybody. On this new system, legally, we can't just transfer bank information over. So we're asking everybody to go ahead and put that information in here. They can do now credit card or ACH, and they only have to do it once, and then they can make that payment method available to pay only invoices or only dues invoices, or also other invoices like food course, conference or convention registration, and other events and things like that. So what we will do is we can click on auto pay and billing. And it's thinking, or is it thinking? There it is. Okay, so, and I click over here to manage auto pay. And then it just, basically shows some basic information like when did I join? Am I active? And so now I want to say, well, how do I, with these automatic payments, what do I want to pay with this method, this payment type? Do I want to do only required membership items or all membership items? And I believe that if you put all membership items, this is going to basically allow you to charge basically anything you want to buy through the system. Again, events included. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, Carrie, if I'm wrong way, but if we do only required, I believe then that's only going to be dues invoices.
Right, that's
right?
correct. Yep.
Okay. So under payment profile, now we're going to create a payment profile. Like we click this little plus sign here. And it's thinking there a little bit. There it is. Okay, so now it's going to say associate this with which tavern or the person here. So typically, I think you're going to have this be be with the tavern. So the tavern is paying with each of these. But I think this is where if you own more than one bar, then you're going to associate this with each bar, right, or each payable establishment. So I can just choose a credit card here. So pretty simple. You guys have bought stuff online before, or the bank information, and you could just add bank info. So with this one, you could make it even easier. Is it uses this little special connector that you could actually just log into your bank. So if I used UW Credit Union, I would log into my credit union through this portal, and it would just connect my bank to this for those payments without having to know what my routing number and bank account is, right? I would just select it through this system. If you don't want to do that, completely fine. You would just type in your basic information like this, right? What kind of bank, what kind of account is it? It's a business account holder name. And then again, here's this routing number and account information. So either way you want to do this is completely fine. Okay, you would select that. And then that will, I'm not going to select that. Okay. And then that's going to be listed here and then will be stored within the system safely. Okay. And then that will be available to pay your dues. So if there's any questions on that, please let us know. Let's click down to directory listings. So this is what's going to be like public facing. So the cool thing about this site is that if you fill all this information and somebody looks you up, you can put in like your logo or a banner, or you'll kind of have like a little mini website of your business on the Tavern League website. right? So if somebody's looking for like, hey, what taverns are in Dane County, or what taverns are in Ozaki County that we might want to go visit when we're out and about, right? You kind of have your own little website on here, and then it's going to show what you offer. So you can add, a lot of information in here, like maybe show like, hey, we have fish fry, and we have prime rib, and we have drink specials on Wednesday nights, right? So you can put all that kind of information in here if you'd like. Don't have to. If you don't, nothing's going to happen, but it's a way to kind of make yourself stand out here, kind of on another platform, and that's good for marketing. Again, another place to adjust your address and contact information. And then you can also, if you wanted to add I believe you can add your cell number in here as well. Yeah, you could add that here and then tell it what type it is. And then here's where you add your images. So again, go ahead and play with it, and then you can kind of see how it looks. And if you don't like it, you can kind of make some adjustments. And if you have any problems, give us a call. Okay, subscriptions. So subscriptions are, these are all the emails that you should be getting from us, from this system. So you've probably gotten emails by now that when we sent emails to all league leaders, we've sent them to, maybe we send them out to all presidents, because we're like, hey, presidents, get your charity information in. So the cool thing about this system is that every member, can have a role, and then some people's roles are higher than others, right? And some people have more than one role. So again, maybe Marty, you're the league leader, you're the president of Outagamie County, but you might also be on the you might be the chair of the golf committee, and then you might also be a league secretary for a neighboring county, right? You get maybe the idea. You can have different roles within the entire Tavern League of Wisconsin. So that's what would show here. And so potentially you might have several of these, and you're going to, when we send email out to you based on that role, that's this list, right? So we're going to say, hey, league secretaries, please get in your information. Don't forget to do this or that. And we're going to send information, requesting that information for based on your role. Typically, the only time we're going to do that is when we're doing like presidents and secretaries. I guess if we wanted to send information out to just, membership chair people or something like that, we could do that as well if I was listed here. So these are the emails that I'm getting this as Tony's Tavern. All right, let's move on to events. So again, this is the back end of what's shown on the public side, right? Remember, so we go back, I'm clicking back over to the website. So it's the same information, but this is public facing. I don't need to be logged in. I don't need to be logged in to see this information. Here, I can see this information, and but then I can also add new events here as well. So you might feel more comfortable kind of seeing maybe a higher level thing at the month level, right? Or if I wanted to click list view, I can really get a sense of what the entire, scroll down quickly and say, oh, what's happening in August, right? When's the next time that food safety is going to be in Green Bay? Quickly look there. Okay, let's go back to, I'm going to go back to month view. And so if I want, now here's where you can add a new event. So maybe Doug, you've got an event there and you're like, hey, my league is doing a really cool poker run. We're gonna do that. I'm gonna tell everybody about it. You can enter that information here, where it's at, who's organizing it, what times it start and stop, and then click done. And then we're gonna get a notification on that. We'll look it over. If we have any questions, we'll let you know. And then we'll go ahead and approve that. When we get it approved, it will show up here, and it will show up on the website here as well as a local event, probably. Okay. So that's pretty simple. And so just let us know whatever kind of questions you have, or if you have any problems with those. Reports, we're going to skip over today because we've already talked about that as a member as a league leader report, but this member reports will not show up for your quote unquote average member, right? Only league leaders should have this little reports button. So it'll just be not showing visible for, any of your members that aren't involved as an officer or a league leader. Okay. So we can skip over that. Let's click on the member directory. Now we've got member directory and affiliate directory. So member directory is going to be like tavern leagues, class Bs. Affiliates are going to be everybody else, right? So if you want to look up Mass Appeal or Santa Max or, milk caps, folks, that's all going to be over down there. So you can look at this, and if you click, let's say look up Two Brothers in a Bar in Genoa City, you can see them here. And then again, if they fill out they put a banner or logo or other information, that's going to show up here as well. At a baseline, you can see where they're mapped. Their main number is going to show here, and then any other kind of information about what kind of establishment they are. They're a grill and a bar. They're a safe ride provider, right? So, and there's another place to search safe ride providers elsewhere on the website. We can come back to that later. But this just kind of gives a quick overview of the member as a directory listing. If I click on affiliate member directory, much the same thing. I can click on Ansay and Associates, and you can see kind of all the things that they offer. So they have categories, and I think we can do that as well for the membership directory as well. If we go back to that, and click on 1903 categories here, so we can have different categories in here as well. So if you're a grill, bar, golf course, bowling alley, hotel, right? All these things can be different categories that might be able to be searchable or filterable. Okay. Going back to the affiliate member here as well. If you want to look up a new PO system or any other type of business that you need help to operate your establishment, you can search through these folks here as well. And then of course you want to, you can search for somebody here as well using these fields. Okay. And then coming down to the bottom here, we've got resources. So this is the resources that we had talked about earlier when we talked about having like the newsletters, the on-premise back issues, the building blocks, safe ride information, all that sort of thing. Now you see like a Tavern League board and director contact list. This was last run in January. This is like well, actually, I take that back. It looks like it's from April, but this is like a static list, right? So if you find that in there, it's a click download and open it up. It's a PDF. It's a static list. It's great to pull and print if you want, but this doesn't get automatically updated. We need to actually run that as a PDF file, a document, and upload it here. So if you find one that's outdated, let us know. We'll do it, but we should be keeping up on these pretty quickly, month to month. And so just scroll down in here, going back to resources, you can see there's lots and lots of information. All these signs, all these bar signs and establishment signs like ID and no vaping and concealed weapons and wash your hands, all that stuff's in here as well. So if you wanted to print out your own, you could do that. Of course, we have those here. Let us know if you need more, but all that's here if you wanted to print one of these out as well, or share with a potential non-member to say, hey, this is the kind of cool stuff that we've got. Okay. So feel free to dig through this, and then these have categories that you can search for. So if I wanted to search for newsletters or back issues of on-premise, all this stuff's clickable. Again, go ahead and click around, have fun. You probably won't break anything. Okay. Okay. So that is kind of a top to bottom of this here. Let's see. Did I miss anything of the basic stuff here? I've got some of that more that's good to know, but Carrie and Markway, is there anything that you want me to dive into a little deeper? Do you want to talk about anything? Maybe that I went over too quickly.
Nothing that comes to mind right this second.
Same. I don't have anything. I think you've been doing a pretty good job so far.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about this other part of this list, the Tavern of the Game submissions. So let's go talk about that first. Where do we do that? Well, we go up here and we go, let's see, where do we do that? Let's say we go under events and fundraisers. We go to Tavern of the Game. And this is where you can register. And of course, we show all the winners here as well. So if you click the little plus sign, that will expand out. And you would see where we're at right now. If you click on register for the Tavern of the Game, that takes you to a form. And you'll see what we're not asking for anymore is that account number. We don't need that account number anymore. That was part of the old system. We know if they're a member or not just by looking at them in the back end. And so can you, right? You'll see them as an active member if you look them up in the directory. So we don't need that. That number is kind of extraneous. In fact, kind of just talking back about league leaders. I don't know that we show that column, that account number on the membership reports. Unless you absolutely need it, we might remove that unless people really want to keep it, but I don't think we need it internally at this office unless you guys are using it for anything. It's just an extra column right now, kind of taking up room. So, but just, we're not gonna do that instantly, but we'll talk about maybe removing it. We don't really need it anymore. So, fill out the Tavern of the Game registration that goes here, and then we'll get a copy of that and take it from there. So don't need the member ID. Also, just kind of going back, another reason, talking about email addresses, another reason that people may not be able to create an account is we may not have their email addresses. If you run a membership report and you look at that, you'll look at the email column and you'll see a lot of blanks. So in fact, out of the 5,000 members that we have, we only have about 3,600 emails. So that's a lot of missing email addresses. And of course, maybe in some of those that we have are outdated, right? So when you are running your membership reports, league leaders, you want to make sure and look at, when you talk to your members, say, hey, is this still your email? And then if there's a blank there, please go get that for us. We will put it into the system because they can't create an account without an email. So, and of course, we can't communicate with them via email if we don't have their email. So the only way they might see anything is a paper packet, right? And that sort of thing. And if we can get to more emails for as the rule versus the exception, that will save a lot of resources and money on behalf of the organization as well. So the more emails we can get into the system, the better really for everyone. I'm going to go back to, I did do a video for this, but I think this applies definitely to our members who might see this, is I want to talk about the member app. So there are two member apps. There is the mobile app that allows you to basically log into this. So you get access to your billing, you can pay your bill, you can register for food course, you can look at the directory, register for everything. So all that's kind of available on the go in the mobile app. So to do that, you want to visit this website on your phone and then click on this. Now you can go find these apps in the Google Play or App Store, but that gets maybe a little complicated. Just use these links. It's way simpler. And they, because some of this stuff doesn't necessarily come up under Tavern League. We're using like a third-party app that's not named TLW. So you want to direct people to this page. They click on it, and then they'll be able to download and sign in. So for the,
Well, Tony, real
yeah,
quick, just
go ahead.
just in case somebody does go through the app store, excuse me. The app's just called Members Plus. It's a really simple name. It's usually like, if you just search that in your search bar, you'll see like the purple background. It's the only one that looks like that. So just in case, any of your members say, well, how do I find it? And they can't get access to the
Mhm.
link or whatever the case may be, just tell them to search Members Plus and it'll pop right up.
Yep, this is what it's going to look like. They type in Member Plus, but again, this is not a Tavern Leak app. Our
Nope.
app, our information kind of is overlaid into this. This is an app that is provided to us from our database people that we bought this new system from. So, if they go search for TLW, they're probably only going to find the other app that I'm just about to kind of cover. That's why gets a little complex, but if they insist they want to go find it, this is how they're going to find it. But again, a lot easier if you just direct them to this page here. So that member app allows them to, again, do everything on the go. What I would not recommend is logging into the website with your phone. It is not going to be a good experience. Things are going to be scaled wrong. It's going to be hard to kind of pinch and zoom and find things. So you can, but it's not going to be a great experience. So I would say, if somebody is going through and creating their account on their phone, the path they're probably going to take is to log in with their phone. But you have to have, if you're going to lead them through this, is stop them and say, okay, now go download the app, come to this page. So it's best to kind of do some of this stuff on your computer, right? Downloading the or setting up your account and then coming over to the member app and then kind of doing that as a secondary thing. It can be done, but you might get a little twisted and turns. And again, if somebody gets lost, have them give us a call. We're happy to talk them through this. So that's that app. Now the other app, which is the quote unquote old app, that is over here. And that is what we're really referring to as the Safe Ride mobile app. So what we're doing is we're really branding this app to be very public facing, so that your patrons can use this to find your establishments in general, right? Because remember that it has that view nearby members functionality. I can't share the mobile app. I don't have my phone plugged into the Zoom here, but you guys have all used this before. If you click on view nearby members, it's going to find you with GPS and show you what's just down the street. And then it's also going to designate which one of those are Safe Ride providers as well. So they can look someone up just with typing. They can use GPS to find nearby members, or they can just say who is a Safe Ride provider as well. And that's done with that. So that app, again, you are more than welcome to continue using that when you're out and about visiting other members and visiting members and viewing other members and say who's nearby. If you're familiar with that, totally cool. Continue doing so. Just know that that is not the place where it's like the member side of a way to log in and administer your membership. That's what the other app is I would say the word administering your membership and paying for things is the way to go there. This is really kind of this pure directory lookup system. So continue to use both apps. They just have different uses here as well. That is the app. Okay, so multiple unit tavern owners. So what we're discovering as we're working and talking to league leaders and talking to other members is that in the old system, we really didn't have a great way to track and connect a tavern owner who owns multiple establishments, but the system wasn't built that way. The new system, we can do that, but because we didn't import the all the members into the system kind of pre-connected because we didn't know that they were supposed to be, connected again with multiple owners. We need to know about that. So if you are in the database and you see, especially league leaders, if you're running the member reports and you see that there's nothing under the primary organization on the mobile app on the membership report, which shows that all the connected bars or connected establishments to one person. If you see that, like, oh, hey, I know that Marty owns, this bar, a bar over in Oshkosh, and he owns a bar up in Appleton, and you're not seeing any of that connected, let us know. So we will, and let us know which bars they are. We will connect them on the back end. You're not going to be able to do that on your end. So if you're talking to your members, if you're out there and you're like, hey, I own these 3 bars, but I can't pay the bill for these other ones, let us know and be happy to make that connection. So when we built this system, we went on with what we knew at the time. And so appreciate your patience with anything we didn't know at the time when we did that. We'll fix it up as we go along. Okay, I think I hit all my bullet points. Doug, Sharon, Marty, you guys have any questions?
Yeah, this is Marty. I sent a couple questions into the chat. Wasn't sure if you're getting them live or not.
Okay, let's take a look here. I don't know. Yeah, let's see here. Okay, go ahead. Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah, one was
Yep,
basically
I'm in the
about
process of answering it right now, just to let you know, Marty.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so we'll answer. So the question is, and we'll just, like I said, we'll do this for, obviously we're recording this, so anybody will get the benefit of this as well. So the question is, does the Safe Ride app update itself from our info of the main website? Yes, absolutely. So both the website and both apps are connected to the source membership data. So now the time it takes to update might be a little delayed. So the Safe Ride app only updates once per day. So let's say, Marty, you get a new member, we put them on the system, and they're not there. Well, wait a day. They'll probably will show up after that, or maybe the number changes or some sort of information. That app only goes and checks for new information once a day. So just be aware of that, but it will update. If you notice any problems, like it's not updating, let us know. But for the most part, we haven't heard any problems with that with this new system.
I know there are on Milwaukee, Sharon here, on Milwaukee's, when you put in Milwaukee as a city, I know they're coming up with ones that are no longer members.
If you have those, let us know or let Markway know, and we'll
Okay.
take a peek.
Yeah. Absolutely.
those.
Shoot me an email, Sharon, and I'll take care of that.
For sure.
Perfect.
For sure. Thank you. Yeah, and if there's stuff that it's closed, I know there's a place right over here that we'll have to turn off because it's a different they closed down and now it's a different place. So we'll have to kind of, if people shut down or move or things like that, which happens, let us know. We're happy to keep that information up to date. Okay, so Marty asks, I have some directors that have retired or temporarily don't represent a bar. They are still actively on or running a committee like golf, Safe Ride, etc. How can they get the member? Sorry, how can they get into the member area as needed? Great question. Just contact the office. If we do have some folks like that, so it just takes a couple of buttons and levers on this back end to mark them as getting that access, and we're happy to do that. And so if you see any of that in the background, like Sharon, you said, hey, these people aren't members anymore, or if you get someone that's like, hey, this person like Mike Selt sold his bar, a month or two ago, but he's still connected to Bayside. We can, if we know about that, we'll be happy to fix it. Let's see. In terms of leaguers, okay, it looks like Markway, you answered that. Perfect. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Fantastic. If there's have any other questions, things come up later on. Obviously, staff is always here and happy to help you to run you through any kind of problems you might have. So do not be shy. Give us a call, send us an email, and we'll be happy to walk you guys through any problems that you're having. And again, if you're watching this recording and you're like, hey, we want Tony or Markway or Carrie to do another one of these for us, just for our league, because I want to watch this live and Monday morning was not a good time. Contact us and we'll be happy to schedule something for you and your league. Okay. Thank you so much. If there's any questions, we will end just a couple minutes early and let you guys be on your way.